Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy last Sunday in 2024. Moving on to 2025. Hope you all have had a good weekend. I know that I have, and looking forward to coming into a good week. So, Christmas last week, New Year's this week, a lot going on for a lot of people, a whole lot of nothing going on for a lot of other people. So, wherever you fall within these couple holiday weeks, there's I don't know, there's a lot of variety as far as how these weeks go for people. So hopefully everybody's having a good evening and having good days. Let's see, we're gonna put up the intention for this week here. There it is, if you haven't seen it yet already. So this week, I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. So this week, I'm going to take a look at something here. This week is the first week that we are streaming to Instagram along with Facebook. So I'm just looking to see if that, yeah, okay, I got that on there and it looks like it's working all right. Okay, cool. So hi to those of you that may be joining us on Instagram this week. First time, we've been doing this for quite a while on YouTube and Facebook, and now have added Instagram in. So hopefully reaching more people, having more people joining us, and going from there. So if you haven't seen the intention already, here is our intention for the week up in the corner in the graphic. I have the courage to turn dreams into reality. I have the courage to turn dreams into reality. So astrologically supported, as always, the intention, but I feel that it's very fitting going into the new year, wrapping up the end of 2024, moving into 2025. So we'll talk about the transits that are behind that. The intention is always released on Saturday for us to do a live meditation on Sunday. I like to give you a little bit of time to sit with it yourself just to see what comes up. Hopefully you get lots of really good things out of this meditation, what I have to say, and the meditation that comes in the second portion. But you can also get a lot of really good things by just contemplating on the intention yourself and just seeing what comes up for you within your own personal sphere. You can get insights and little tidbits from your own contemplation that I cannot give you here, coming from what I say. So taking that time to kind of sit with it yourself a little bit first is always, it's not a requirement, but I feel like it's always a good idea and a good place to kind of sit with, even if it's just for a couple minutes right before you log on to the meditation. You don't have to go on like every Saturday and look necessarily, but even if you just take a look at the intention before you come on to the live meditation, the intention is always posted to Facebook, Instagram, as well as the website, meditativeastrology.com. So let's see. Let's get ready to talk about the transits. I'm going to leave the intention up there for one more moment for you to take a look at. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. Sit with that for just a moment. How does that feel? What does it invoke within you? What does it make you think? What does it make you feel? Does it make you excited? Does it make you a little hesitant? Do you believe it? I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. Okay, so we have a few transits that we're talking about this week. The very first one is that we have a new moon tomorrow in the sign of Capricorn. New moon at 9 degrees of Capricorn tomorrow night at 5:25, and I'm going to show you the chart for that. Let's see, let's get this. Okay, so we have another cool thing that we're doing today. I have figured out how to run my astrological program, Solar Fire, along with the live stream. So I can now show you guys not only just an astrological wheel, like I have often done, just showing you a picture, but now I can move the wheel and we can walk through the week together. So right now, changing by day here. So yeah, this is really cool, and I feel like this is going to really help just give a good visual for the first portion of the meditation, where we talk about the astrological transits, where you can actually kind of see what's going on here. I have my, you can see my cursor. My cursor is the cross formation, so I can hover over things and kind of highlight where things are. And you know, bear with me a little bit today with this, just because it's the first time that I'm putting the live stream and the chart together as far as moving a moving part. But this is going to be really cool, and this is really going to be helpful. So this is the chart of the new moon that comes through Monday, December 30th at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. The house locations here are exact to my time zone and my location. So the house locations may be a little bit different for your own chart. We're not necessarily looking at the house locations. We're just looking at the overall chart here. So if you look in the 7th house, you'll find the sign of Capricorn. If you find the 7 in the inner circle, that will bring you to the 7th house. And you will see that the sun and the moon come together at 9 degrees of Capricorn tomorrow evening. So the new moons are always a point of initiation, right? They're the start of a new lunar cycle. It's coming into a new cycle, initiating something new. It can be big things, it can be small things, it can be subtle, it can be loud. But we have a new moon in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is an initiating sign that has much motivation within itself. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, so it comes at the turning point. 0 degrees of Capricorn. The sign of Capricorn starts with the winter solstice, with one of the turning points that we've been talking about the last couple weeks. And Capricorn is very future goal oriented. It's very motivated. It's very much a sign that is looking for moving towards the next goal, moving towards the light from a place that feels like we are in some sort of darkness, or moving from a place that moving to a higher level of some kind, or leveling up, reaching goals. So Capricorn is a sign that likes to start and initiate things, and then we have a new moon on top of it in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn new moons are great for structuring. It's great for having the determination to move forward. Capricorn is the exaltation of Mars, so you have some of that movement, you have some of those Mars qualities within the sign of Capricorn. It's ruled by Saturn, so you have the structure, you have the stick-to-itness, you have the ability to move forward in a very structured and a very disciplined way. Think about Mars and Saturn combined. Disciplined, structured, continued movement, not stopping, moving forward. So that's the first aspect that we have coming through this week, starting out with a new moon. So starting something new. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. So creating something within the physical. Capricorn is an earth sign, so turning things into physical realities. So that's where we start out this week, is with the new moon in the sign of Capricorn. As we move forward from the new moon, we see that on Thursday, let's see, we'll just go through a couple days here. We have a couple days without aspects. On Tuesday, the moon will still be moving through Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius. And then on Thursday evening, Thursday into Friday, we have Venus moving into the sign of Pisces. So if you look at, on this chart, at the 8th house, the 8 in the center here, you'll see Venus in the sign of Aquarius at 29 degrees. I have my cursor over it right now, so hopefully that helps you see it. And then if we go forward, Thursday into Friday, we see that Venus moves from 29 degrees of Aquarius into 0 degrees of Pisces. Notice that here at this time, the moon is right next to it. So just after Venus moves into the sign of Pisces, the moon is going to make a conjunction to it. That's just a nice little note of, it's just a nice little extra emphasis on the Venusian energy in the sign, entering into the sign of Pisces, especially at that 0 degrees. So 10:24 p.m. Thursday night is when Venus officially moves into Pisces, Eastern time zone. And the moon moves into Pisces at 10:20 a.m. Friday. So Thursday night into Friday, we have moon and Venus Piscean energy coming in and ushering in. So we have a turning point for Venus where she's switching signs. She's moving from Aquarius to the sign of Pisces. And when she moves into the sign of Pisces, we get a different feel of Venus. So Venus still wants to Venus wants to do the things that Venus likes to do, right? Venus likes beauty, harmony, desire, friendship, getting along, and communication, or not communication, like collaboration and groups and beautiful, harmonious situations. When you have Venus in the sign of Pisces, Pisces is a water sign that is ruled by Jupiter. You get a Venus that is very dreamy, very artistic, very soulful, likes to collaborate. You have that collective energy of the sign of Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac. You have this otherworldly Piscean, Venusian energy that just likes to kind of float around and feel the energy and feel the vibes that are around. It's very collective, it's very otherworldly, and it can be very absorptive. So Venus in the sign of Pisces can absorb energy from its surroundings very, very easily. There can be lots of empathetic energy when Venus is in the sign of Pisces, but really there is this there's this desire to create something that is collective and collaborative. So bringing together in the last sign of the zodiac, in the sign of Pisces, you have the collection of all of the other signs that have come before it. So you have this montage of wanting to put together some sort of beautiful, artistic piece of energy that is coming through here. And that is very much setting up for the dreaming part of the intention that we have this week. I have the courage to turn dreams into reality. So if we are turning dreams into reality, we have to have the ability to dream first, right? If we are going from, I'm just going to take this off here for a moment. If we're going from a place where we are dreaming about things and we are aspiring to things and we are thinking about the highest expression of things, very Venus and Pisces, wanting to, come up with a plan that feels very, that fulfills us and gives us some sort of motivation to move forward, like from a deep inner way. Venus and Pisces is great for that. So we have this energy coming through towards the end of the week, which we will have, Venus will be in the sign of Pisces for about a month or so, I believe. Looking at my notes here, Venus will move into the sign of Aries on February 4th. So a little less than a month, a little over a month. All through January until February 4th, we'll have Venus in the sign of Pisces. So you have this very dreamy, artistic, collaborative energy that wants to create something, but it wants to create something that contains all of the little pieces. So think about just what has been going on within your own energetic realm, and think about how those little teeny pieces can start to come together, and how Venus in the sign of Pisces can start to pull them together for you a little bit. And then we're gonna go back to the chart here. Give me a little bit. We'll work this out. This is gonna be really good. After Venus moves into the sign of Pisces, at this right around the same time, we have Mars, which is retrograde. We've been talking about Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo. You can see it on this wheel down in the second house. So look in the center again, find the number 2, and you'll find the glyph for Mars at 0 degrees of Leo. So this is the day where Venus moves into Pisces, and then we have at the same time, going back here, we have Mars in the sign of Leo opposing Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. So I'm drawing a line from Mars here going across to Pluto to show you the opposition there with the planets that we have going on. So Mars, Pluto, we've talked about this before. We knew it was coming back around in the retrograde form. This is the second of 3 passes that we're going to have with Pluto opposite Mars. So Pluto opposite Mars is very, very intense, very, very powerful, very, very willful. There is an intense focus, drive, motivation. There is power, there is will, there is unstoppable motivation. There is a depth to the motivation. There are motives that run deeper rather than just coming up with something on the fly. So like those inner inner motivations that have kind of been burning within us, but maybe we haven't quite taken the steps towards them. When Mars-Pluto comes around, then you have that drive and that motivation of Mars, but Pluto is bringing things up from the depths. So then there is this deep, willful drive motivation of things that are very, very deep-seated within our own being. That can be very, very powerful and very, very motivating, but on the negative side, it can tip into obsessive or overpowering, or just being overcome with the desire to do whatever the thing is that Mars and Pluto is bringing up within your own life. So that's where it can definitely tip into the negative aspect. It's not a fully positive transit, but there is great power and great will to move forward, great courage, just like in our intention. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. So we have two different energies that we have going on here this week. Well, we have the new moon that is starting and initiating something in the sign of Capricorn, the sign that is always climbing the mountain, always moving forward, always looking for the next step, ready to take that next step, and to work really hard if we know that the results are going to be what we're looking for. So there's great courage within the sign of Capricorn. We have a new moon there. Venus in the sign of Pisces, very otherworldly, very dreamy, very much able to, I think of Venus and Pisces, and I think of finding all the beautiful things that you want to put on your vision board. Maybe Mars is the part that is helping us put the actual vision board together or take actions on the vision board. But Venus in the sign of Pisces is yeah, we're going to find all these things that we're going to do. And, coming up with the, that feeling inside that fills you up when you're motivated and inspired. That's the word I'm looking for, when you're inspired to go forward and do something. And then we have Mars opposite Pluto, that brings in this intense drive motivation. So there's a little bit of a two-sided energy here that we have going on this week, which brings us to our intention. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. We have the courage to move, to step forward, to do something. We have the energy to dream and to aspire and to step into an artistic expression that allows us to dream big and to have big motivations. Hopefully being able to still stay a little bit rooted and a little bit grounded and not being fully just overtaken by the dream world and by being intoxicated by the feelings that we have. There can be a very divine connection within the sign of Pisces. There is a energetic connection. Some people that's spiritual, some people that's otherworldly, some people that is a gut instinct, some people that is just fully being immersed into whatever the thing is. It's intoxication, it's devotion, it's feeling very much connected to whatever the thing is to keep us moving towards that thing or keep entertaining that thing. And then that Mars-Pluto comes through with that very, very powerful energy. As Mars is opposing Pluto, there is a trine and a sextile to the nodes. So Mars is here at 1 degree of Leo. And if you take a look at the 10th house at the top of the chart here, at 1 degree of Aries is our north node. And then directly across from that, down in the 4th house, would be the south node at 1 degree. So you have this positive aspect at the same time to both of the nodes, which is bringing in a flare of the path that you're walking. When we have an aspect to both the north and the south node, we have some sort of look at what we are what we are kind of moving away from and where we have been, and what pulls us towards where we are going, our future. And it's a crossroads of just kind of inflecting upon where you have been, what has happened, and then where you go from here and how you kind of balance the two of those out a little bit. So very much looking at the path and looking where we are at, how far we've come, the steps that we have to take, and just kind of that in-between assessment that we have here. So cool energy that I feel like we have coming into the beginning of ending 2024 into 2025. On Saturday, Sun and Saturn are going to sextile each other at 14 degrees. So the Sun at 14 degrees of Capricorn, sextiling Saturn at 14 degrees of Pisces. That just brings a little extra emphasis into an inspiring energy here. When Sun Saturn come together, it's a sextile, so it's not the strongest aspect. It's definitely not the strongest focus of energy that we have this week. But there is the Sun, which is the purpose, the drive, the motive, the purpose, and the ego, the being, the sun, the solar light, and then Saturn, the structure, the form, the boundaries, the limitations, the structure, the framework of things. So when you have an illumination of that structure and that framework, it further allows you to put plans together, to move forward, to take actions. It's a positive aspect. So that's just a little bit of extra help that we have at the end of the week. So cool energy that we have coming into the new year, ending out the year, and coming into the new year of creating whatever it is that you want to create into the new week. Whatever you want to bring forward. So yeah, I think these are cool aspects. I like the variety. I like that we have this dreamy, artistic, lovable, imaginative, romantic energy with Venus moving into the sign of Pisces, where she's going to be for over a month. But then we have deep determination, we have deep will. So it's like we can dream, but we can act at the same time. We can actually take the steps. And Sun Saturn, we can be a little bit practical. Capricorn new moon, we can be a little bit practical in our practical yet visionistic. So we can be inspired, we can dream big, but we can keep our feet on the ground. So it's like allowing your head to be up in the clouds while keeping your feet down on the ground at the same time. And both, if you can do both of that, that feels very, it's the best of both worlds. So that is what I have as far as the transits that we have going on this week. Tarot card that came up for today is the World. And I like this when we're talking about past, when we're talking about 2024 into 2025. When we're talking about moving forward. We're talking about Venus moving into another sign. Because the World card, when I see it in the light that we are reflecting on right now, it's about completion and it's about integration of things. It's about moving forward from one step to another, or from one level to another, one chapter to another, but being able to see the whole picture at the same time. When the World card pops up, it tells us that we are moving from one cycle to another, but it's an integration of one cycle to another. So it's knowing that everything that has come before has brought us to the moment that we are now, and being able to step forward with that energy and bring all of that together with us as we step forward. So that feels like a very, very positive ushering into the new world and ushering into a new lunar cycle as well here. So cool cards, cool intention, and cool aspects that we have coming into the new year. You know, there could be some grandiose, willful actions, we'll say, going on this week. So there could be a little bit of grandiosity where we are just like we're not being very rational. There is that possibility, but here for this meditation, we're looking at the more positive ways that these are gonna work out, and we're leaning into cooperating with these energies and working with them and asking them to guide us. So when we ask for that, we're looking for the positive, and then we can be mindful of the maybe less positive. And then if we see that either in ourselves or for others, then we can be mindful of it, and then we can possibly kind of sidestep it a little bit, or deter it a little bit. So that's what I have as far as the information for this week. I'll leave the intention up for one more moment for everybody to take a peek at there. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. We have wonderful aspects this week. In transits, we have planetary sign change for Venus to usher in something that is a very what is the word that I'm looking for? Very, very big, very broad picture, very much reaching for the stars, but we can do it in a little bit of a focused and pointed type way. We can have the motivation to reach for the stars. So if we set big goals for ourselves, if we set the bar kind of high, there's also the motivation there to back it up this week. So whatever the steps are that you need to take within your life, within moving from 24 to 25, take those steps this week. And don't be afraid to feel into the energy a little bit while you're doing so. All right, we're going to get the intention off of the screen. So one more last look at it. I have the courage to turn dreams into reality. And we have our intentional candle behind the intention as always. Not using white again this week. So last week we used orange. This week, using this deep kind of indigo color candle. Last week it was, so typically they have white sage essential oil in the candles that I used. Last week was, had an orange oil in it. These have have oil of myrrh within them. So I knew I wanted to use a different candle, but I didn't know exactly which one I wanted to use this week, ushering in the new year. And I instantly saw like this color in my head. Looked in my supply of candles and found these that pretty much fit exactly what I saw. So I know that I have seen myrrh oil and incense used for meditation, for spiritual connection and intuition. The packaging for these come from the Stone Sanctuary shop on Etsy, where all of my candles come from, that I've thrown out before. And on here she has intuition, knowledge, focus, truth, psychic awareness, and dreams. So this feels like it's very much going to connect into that Venus and Pisces energy that we have. And what better way to step into the new year than with intuition and motivation? What better way to step into the year than with a awareness of energies and a sensitivity to energies while still having like the power to be a little bit autonomous while still collaborating with the collective energy that is around. It's like being able to be a part of the full collective collaborative energy and being able to have your own motivations at the same time. Especially Mars in the sign of Leo, in the sign of the sun. Very much about the individual. It's the place of the sun. Very much somewhat ego-driven, but very, very individualistic. So cool energy coming into this week. So myrrh is what I ended up landing on for this week. And yeah, that's what I have coming into our meditation. So I'm going to light the intentional candle, and as I do so, I'm going to recite the intentional phrase. I encourage you to go ahead and recite it with me however you are able to, and we will move into the meditation portion of our session. So I'm going to light the intentional candle here. As I light the candle, never had it not light before. A little wax on the wick had to burn off. Okay. We light our intentional candle. The flame ignites. Once the flame ignites, the flame begins to grow. As the flame begins to grow, so does our intention. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. I have the courage to turn dreams into realities. Cool energy for initiating, for starting, for being motivated, for having willpower and determination, for reaching deep within us to see what our deep motivations have been. What have we been wanting to do? What is the movement that you've been wanting to take? Have you been lacking some sort of inspiration, some sort of connection to source, some sort of level of feeling that there is a purpose to whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, but you haven't quite been taking the actions on? Has there been something that feels like there's just one little piece missing? That one little piece that could be missing could just be that deep-seated connection to source, to spirit, or, if that's a little bit too far and a little bit too deep for you, to yourself. Because you can connect to all of that through yourself. If you haven't already, I invite you to find a nice, comfortable seated position. If you're ready to go ahead and close your eyes, go ahead and do so. If you're not quite ready to do that yet, that's okay. You just relax your gaze, soften your eyes, and perhaps you can let your gaze and your vision just kind of gently fall wherever it naturally falls in front of you. Not focusing too intently on any one space, but allowing your eyes to relax and rest until they feel they are ready to close. As always, coming into our meditation, let's start by making space to recognize the breath that we came here with. Here, we turn our attention to the inhales and the exhales that are naturally happening within our body at this moment. Not changing, not judging, just acknowledging and noticing where we are at this time. Notice how your breath feels. Notice if it feels full and complete, or if it feels like it's lacking in any way. Perhaps it feels rushed, perhaps it feels insufficient, perhaps it feels shallow. Perhaps it doesn't feel any of that. Perhaps you just notice your breath. Perhaps there is no connotation that comes along with it. Perhaps there is just the breath in the presence of an inhale and the exhale, as there always is. As you begin turning inward, and you start to connect with your breath, you start to connect with a deeper part of yourself. Noticing the breath moving in through the inhale, notice it moving out through the exhale. Perhaps you start to notice some of the changes that happen within your being. Just sitting with your breath before making any changes, before impressing any judgment or any will upon our breath. We just notice and observe. Once we've taken a moment to sit with our breath, we then start to deepen the inhale. So here, as you take your next breath in, let your only goal to be that the inhale brings in slightly more air than the inhale that came before that. Slow and steady, you breathe in, expanding your lungs, expanding the amount of oxygen, expanding the connection. To that part of yourself within your being. Same thing on the exhale. Once you've taken in as much air as you possibly can, slowly we start to release the breath. Slowly and gently, our only goal here is for the exhale to be slightly longer and release slightly more air than the exhale that came before it. As you move into your next round of breath, the goal is for the inhale to be slightly longer, slightly more fulfilling than the one that came before it, as well as the exhale. This is the slow, gentle process of increasing the breath, deepening the connection. Not pushing, not forcing. Just gently allowing an expansion of the inhale and the exhale. Perhaps you start to notice the changes that happen within your body. Perhaps you start to notice on the inhale that your navel moves away from your spine as your diaphragm lowers, making more room for those fully inflated lungs. Perhaps on the exhale, you start to notice how your navel moves back towards your spine, towards a neutral position. Perhaps you start to notice what that air feels like as it moves up and down your throat, in and out of your nostrils. As you continue breathing in and out, connecting not only with your physical breath, but also your own energetic exchange between your own body and the universe. Every time you breathe in, you take in not only oxygen, but energy from the atmosphere around you. Each time you exhale, you not only release air out of your being, but you are bringing a small part of your energy from within your being out into the ethers around you. There is an exchange back and forth through the inhale and the exhale that a majority of the time we are not even aware of. Moving in and out, connecting deeply. So as we continue this connection, I now want you to go deep within your being, deep within your thoughts, deep within your actions and your drives and your motivations. And I want you to think back through 2024. I want you to think about some of the major things that have happened, lingering where it feels good, moving on, and just acknowledging where that's appropriate. But just consider some of the major things that have happened through this year. And by major, they don't have to be any certain level of big or small, just the first things that come to your mind as you think back over the year. Thinking of the wonderful things, thinking of the things that were a little bit more challenging. And although you have accomplished so much over the last year, I want you to think and consider either something that you wanted to complete in 2024 on any level, it can be physical or non-physical, or I want you to think of something that you now feel ready to usher into your life. So it's either something that has been put on the back burner or something that has come into your sphere that you feel you are ready to step further into that energy. It could be something that you have wanted to do and has been on the back burner, but now you feel you have the energy and you have the motivation or the ability or a little deeper drive to bring it forward. So whatever this idea is that you are considering, the thing that you have been wanting to step into or maybe is a little bit newer to your sphere, but you feel ready to step into, or at least explore, or give a little bit more focus to. And I want you to focus your intention on this thing, this idea, this action, this motivation, whatever the thing is in your head right now. Focusing intently on that. Visualizing it within your own head, developing, cultivating, moving forward with it. And I want you to see this thing, your focus, from somebody else's perspective, somebody else's point of view, somebody else that it could positively impact. And visualize them seeing the thing and realizing the positive benefit, the good impact that it could have. Then I want to challenge you to see if you can find yet another perspective. It could be a collective, community perspective on the thing. It could be another individual that could potentially be associated with or participate or see the act of this thing, but see if you can challenge yourself to focus on your focus from another perspective, from another point of view. See it from another angle. Still positive, still helpful, still beneficial. And then we come back around to our vantage point, experiencing the thing, being a part of whatever you are cultivating within your own being right now. See if you can use your imagination to fully experience the energy of the thing. If there's an action, you feel yourself doing it. If there's a feeling as a result of the action or the idea being expressed, you feel that feeling and that connection to it. Now, you have, at minimum, 3 different perspectives of your focus. I want you to visualize, however this shows up for you, I want you to visualize all 3 perspectives surrounding your focus. These positive, beneficial perspectives, seeing the good, seeing the benefit, seeing the divine good in your focus. And as these 3 perspectives focus intently, lifting up your focus, slowly it begins to rise up, 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 up towards the universe, up towards the ethers, ready to be brought into existence, ready to be birthed or ushered in. This focus has come to you through the process of experiencing, through the process of life, through the process of the right timing. Integrating all of your past experiences, all of the history of your focus, whatever that entails. Seeing that you are on the right path of where you should be at this very moment. If this is a motivation you have been carrying within yourself for a long time, there's no regret, there's no I should have, could have, would have. There is only now in the focus. As we focus intently, even more intently than we have before, on this motivation that you want to bring forward, this thing that you want to bring into 2025. Whether it's a new motivation or something you've been carrying within you, focus intently on it and see it. See it within your head coming into its full expression. stepping into it fully and completely, feeling the full, complete expression, seeing yourself doing whatever the thing is. Feel yourself experiencing it. If there's others that are involved, feel and see them experiencing it. Now, from this deep, deep intent focus, this immersion, this fully enveloping yourself within the focus, you feel a drive, you feel an ambition to move forward, you feel a motivation growing from deep within your being. You feel powerful enough to step fully into the future that you are cultivating in this moment. You are ready to take the steps. You are ready to stick with it. You are ready to take your focus to the next level. You are strong and motivated. You are willful and powerful. But you are grounded in empathy, an ability to read different energies so as you can stay powerful and as motivated as you need to be. You can stay strong like a soldier, but at the same time, you see where the lines are, you see where the boundaries are, and you don't step on any toes. To be strong and willful, yet empathetic, is a very, very difficult task for many of us. But we do our best to stay mindful and move forward in the most positive, beneficial, non-harming way that we can. This week, there is motivation to set plans, to initiate something new, to move forward strong and independent. But also as Venus moves into the sign of Pisces, moving into the water sign ruled by Jupiter, there is a collective connection within each and every one of us that is acknowledged. There is individual energy and there is collective energy. And they can be separate and intertwined at the same time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you, for joining our weekly astrological meditation. I thank you, not only for myself, but for everybody else that participates in this meditation. Together, let's take in one more deep breath to close the meditation. One more deep breath in, nice and slow. Pausing on the inhale for just a moment together before exhaling. Perhaps you are still focusing on your focus. Perhaps you are ready to move on and take the steps to bring your focus into whatever the next level is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you for joining, as always. Welcome to those of you that are joining on Instagram. Thank you for being here, and we will be here next Sunday, as always. So next Sunday when we come, it will be our first meditation in January in 2025, and we will be stepping into that new energy. You know, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. Some people stick with them, some people do not. I think I read something or heard something earlier about like by the third week of January, most people have given up on their New Year's resolutions. There is the energy to this week to dream, to aspire big, to be inspired, to take big actions and have big dreams and big motivations. But there's also the energy to put plans in place. So, as we start 2025, how can you move? How can you be motivated? How can you take action while in being focused and being driven to like an end goal, but still see the bigger picture? Still allow yourself to dream, still aspire to step forward even further. How can you be driven and motivated to move forward, but still have some sort of romantic awe and some sort of level of being in love with the idea of where you are moving at the same time? Having that motivation can be very serious and very, very strong-willed, but how can you still have a little level of softness as you step into the thing, and a little bit of wonder, just enough to allow it to take its own form and its own shape without like willing it too far? Because sometimes when we hold on to things too tightly and we don't like just kind of have its own freedom, then I don't know, the expression can be lessened a little bit, or just kind of restricted or timid a little bit there. So I don't know, last little tidbit there, I guess, little rambling. So thank you all of you for being here. Happy New Year, happy 2025, and take a look next Saturday for the intention for our meditation next Sunday. So every Sunday, 8:30 p.m., we meditate here. Intention is released Saturday beforehand, so that way you can take a look at it. Facebook page, Instagram page, and the meditativeastrology.com website. Take a look on the Facebook page for the Facebook events, so you can click going or interested or whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. That'll give you a reminder for next week's meditation, as well as just kind of helps get it out there around other people. Remember to share this meditation with anybody that you think will enjoy it or benefit from it. And then remember to like, follow, and subscribe, all of the things, because that all helps very, very much too. So I hope everybody has a great day, a great week, and happy New Year. I will see you all in 2025. Have a good night. Bye.